Buddy.
Howdy.
We're gonna skip the opening cutscene of this hack. Maybe boo. You wanna learn how to play?
Oh.
Dude, it's Mario. I know how to play Mario.
Mario? Well, I know how you play Mario, but what about the lore?
We don't need no lore.
Are you gonna be like this with 1,000-Year Door Remake, or are you just gonna skip every story thing?
No! Cause, okay. So they added, like, those custom, like, NPC talking sounds.
This is true.
And me personally, I want to hear those. So, that's my motivation.
That's a good emote.
It is a good emote. Hello. But yeah, my shebang is all set up. My computer seems to be working. If my stream randomly stops, though, that's a blue screen. But I think we're good. I'm gonna be saying that for like weeks until it stabilizes out for like a long enough period of time that I'm comfortable. But I think I'm happy to say that my hardware problems are gone.
Knock on wood.
It is knock on wood, but... Anyways, this is a hack about Luigi and...
Oh, you should have just left it right there. This is a hack.
Yeah, well no, Luigi and Peach have been kidnapped, we gotta go save them.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've seen this background before in another Mario ROM hack.
Oh yeah, I mean,
so
the thing about Mario World Central that's really great is that they have like this consolidated hub of resources for you to like...
Oh, yeah.
Fuck computers. Honestly, part of it was my fault. There was a lot of stuff that I really needed to update on my computer, and also like settings that I should have put more care and thought into.
But, at the same time, computers do mess with you.
Yeah. But long and short, everything seems to be working. I knock on wood, but we don't know how the Mario 2 super jump. We have wall jumps, but yeah, no. Everything seems to work. My computer's cooling is working good. The temperatures are better. Like I said from earlier, like all the benefits that I got from reinstalling Windows are still there. But from updating the BIOS and, you know, adjusting the RAM and shit, things have stabilized out. It seems. I haven't had any blue screens or crashes in the past couple days. And it's been on for a long time. Like, everything's okay, I think. But it has to be said, oh my fucking god, why was it such an ordeal to get here?
Just to make us suffer.
Honestly, probably in some part of it was probably just me turning some settings on that I shouldn't have or whatever. Because that's always a thing. But,
Alright, finally. Okay. I'm done with that order. Okay. PayPal's weird.
Also, amusingly enough, I can just screen share Vulkan programs now.
Hooray.
Which I couldn't do before. I don't know what changed. I don't know if it was a Discord update, if it was just...
Well, didn't we look into it? It was something on Discord, Jen?
No.
No?
I mean, there was that
was
one time where it was black and white, but that was like that's a different problem.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was
the Vulkan thing was just like I couldn't screen share applications that used the Vulkan software render or whatever, or the Vulkan rendering thing. It just would not work. Period. For some reason. And so I was like, oh, they finally added screen share audio so I can use the Vulkan thing, which is what most things use nowadays on modern GPUs because it's more efficient and better. I was like, well, I could just share my screen with the audio now, right? And it was like, okay, well that works. Because before it was just like, share your screen with no audio, you have to kind of guess what's playing. But now I can just share the game again, which is a lot easier for me too when it comes to managing stuff off of the game screen.
Should we go back to caveman days?
But, yeah. My temperatures are good, everything's great. Like, really, I couldn't be happier. The only other thing I've done is set my CPU's power draw limits to a bit lower than the stock ones. Just so if it ever hits like max performance, it's not going to be as hot as it could be. That's about it. And that's like stuff that's perfectly safe to do that won't mess with stability. It's just like, hey, if it's not going to use this many, you know. But all in all, it's like, yeah. I finally got my computer working. Properly. What's weird, too, is that the blue screens didn't really start until, for a little bit after I upgraded. But I definitely think the BIOS and, like, the RAM sticks and all the stuff that I ended up doing, had a very, very good impact on the system. And I am seeing improved performance and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm glad I did all this, you know. You go through everything and it's kind of a pain in the ass. And you're still completely nervous that it won't work, right? But then when it does, it's like, wow, my computer's running better, everything's working better. Life is good, right?
And Boom Boom shows up.
I'm sure Boom Boom will be here. I mean, it's... that's the other thing I want to do during this week. I want to make the Mario Hack Mondays logo so I have like a thing for the stream.
Yes.
I'm gonna
sell t-shirts too, actually.
I'm really gonna give it a shot.
I would buy one.
I can't do that because it's Nintendo's property, but
dude, have you seen all the like the Yeti Mario shirts?
It's true, but like
right.
I'm not gonna be drawing Boom Boom. It's the problem. I'm gonna be using like a sprite.
What are you talking? I mean, you can draw.
No.
I remember those YouTube thumbnails.
That's exactly why I'm not doing it.
Listen, I would love to draw a TTT SD style Boom Boom.
This is Sonic music. This is a Sonic Triple Trouble. Yeah.
You're a Triple Trouble.
Oh, I should have known this hack used SA1. In advanced math. That's why enemies can stand on those platforms now. It's pretty cool.
That's one of Dino's emotes, isn't it?
And also, if I find out.
That's BBH. Okay.
I mean,
I always loved that emote.
Mario World instruments sound nice, but I mean, they were meant to. Oh yeah! Also, Dish, I'm streaming at 1080p now.
Oh, you're streaming at 1080p, okay.
Yeah, because remember when I got the internet upgrade? This was a while back. But I was like, oh yeah, I'm on fiber now. I guess everybody... I was like, you know,
nice, isn't it?
Yeah, I was like, I guess... Are you not on fiber?
No, I am too. I stream at 1080.
Yeah, it is really nice. But I was on fiber, and I was like, you know... And my friend Krikan mentioned, he's like, don't you have like infinite data and like all that stuff on your fiber plan?
Dude, I could not imagine trying to stream with a internet cap. That would be insane.
I did it. It's not that bad, really. I mean, if you stream at 720, you don't use that much bandwidth. But, anyways, what was I saying? Right. Krikan was like, you have all that, right? And I just noticed that I was watching on my TV. You're still streaming it, like, at 720p, despite being able to handle, like, 1080p streaming, I'm pretty sure. And I'm like, you know, you're right. I could just, like, crank the bitrate up and just stream it at 1080p. And because I'm a Twitch partner, or not partner, sorry, an affiliate, they'll actually give me the quality option. So if people want to watch it at 720p, I think it still encodes at 720p 60. So, hey.
I just saw a Chubbs retweet it.
Also, hi, Chubbs. Man, been a while. Hope you've been doing good.
$9 and a Sonic Bluebird. $9. I get.
Dude, the rips every time.
No, that was just a YouTube poop, and also Boom Boom with the chandelier. I knew he had taste.
He's here. Put some respect on our goat.
Has nobody ever ROM packed, what's the female equivalent called of Boom Boom?
Oh, Pom Pom.
Pom Pom.
I don't think I've seen her, actually. Well, maybe once. I think maybe one time.
Alright. Man. And Boom Boom's never showed up in an RPG, has he? Mario RPG at all? That's crazy. But again, we're also talking about the same franchise that didn't have the football Koopa in a sports game
until Mario Golf. That was my favorite one. Mario fucking Golf.
Charge and Chuck. Yeah, I couldn't think of it.
Like. Ooh. The Eastern Islands.
Oh no.
Well.
Wait, my whiteheads?
No, Eastern. It's a little different.
Oh, okay.
It just demarcates that the island is Eastern. Fortunately, it is not Easter. Okay, that looks suspicious.
I mean, it is a pipe in the air.
Maybe that is all it is. Yeah, I can't go up it.
It's just for lore purposes.
I mean, I'm assuming there's like a pipe. Oh. Every game can benefit from the Moai. I mean, this is true. I mean, like, there's no game that's like, I would say, worse with Moai heads, but
yeah, if there's ever been a video game that has like been a detriment with Moai in it, please let me know because I don't think it exists. I think literally every single video game that has a Moai
pipes. What? They're just there.
That's Lord.
Yeah, Bowser's filling the world with pipes. We've got to stop Bowser from piping the pipes.
I mean, wasn't that a whole level in Mario 3 though?
What? There's a whole world, but I mean, like, it was just doesn't mean Bowser did all that.
Are you sure?
I'm not. But I'm like fairly confident. Like, I'm not 100% positive Bowser didn't make Pipeland. Like, we don't know.
I don't know. I think Bowser.
He could have done it. Like, if he was ever an architect at some point before he became like the enemy of the Mushroom Kingdom or whatever. I would certainly not put it past him to do like home hardware.
Yeah, before like kidnapping princesses, like Bowser was going through a phase where he's trying to find a career path.
I mean, that's me.
See?
I've kind of accepted that I might not even find a new job in this city until I move, which really sucks, because, you know, by the time I move, I'll be in my 30s, but...
you get used to it.
I mean, I guess some people start their career in their 30s, right?
I started being healthier in my 30s, and that helps out.
Wow.
Minus COVID, of course.
Well, you know.
Other than COVID, I've been a bit healthier.
But yeah, you know, otherwise I've been great. Computer stuff being ironed out makes me happy. And you know, it is also the first time I've been able to run this RAM at its rated speed, which is pretty nice because I had previously had it downclocked to 3200. And I was like, yeah, this is like fine. But you know, now that it's running at this speed, I'm sure I'll notice something. I think it helps the processor boost more accurately as well. But it's like, it is nice to be able to get like the expected speed out of it when I thought I wouldn't be able to. Because I bought it because it was on sale and it was like $5 more expensive than the 3200 set. And I was like, buying this would make sense because if I ever upgrade motherboards or whatever, I can just clock it up to its speed. Because that's the thing about RAM, you can run it a little slower. It doesn't make the RAM not work.
Just download more RAM, right?
No, that's not what I said.
Nah, old joke.
I know. I love that site, by the way. I will say installing RAM, I have learned, is... Even back when I first did it, when I was upgrading it, I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, how hard do they want me to push on these things?
Oh god.
Have you done that before?
Yeah, with this computer and other computers, like... I hate those parts where it feels like you're breaking it.
No, like
normal.
Yeah, you're not. It has to go in that hard.
It has to go in that hard, and I'm like, I paid like $100 for this. I don't want to.
I don't want to fucking jam it in like I'm trying to break it, right? Like it doesn't. Like the CPU and the graphics card feel really normal to insert. Like you put like the right amount of force. Hell, but the CPU you actually want to be really gentle. You want to like.
Yes.
With the CPU, like the processor, you just like put it into the retention area. You want to make sure it's lined up with a little triangle, and you put the retention arm down all nice. You dot it with the thermal paste really gently.
But no, but RAM?
The fucking RAM, you have to fucking cram that shit in, dude.
It was the same for my graphics card too. It wanted me to like shove it in there, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Do you want to break it? Like. Graphics card's even worse, because it's like, Jesus Christ, how much money was that? Like, hundreds of dollars?
I think mine was $3 at the time.
Yeah, like, and if you buy, like, a newer one, it's like 400, 500 bucks. Like, I don't wanna fucking beat that thing up. Like, are you kidding me? This shit's like a fucking goddess in my hand right now, with how much money I spent on that thing. And you want me to desecrate this place of worship and, like, spend hundreds of dollars again? I will say, at least with RAM, it's like usually only like 100 or some bucks, but it's still pretty expensive to just break all willy-nilly, right? Or at least feel like you're breaking it. But no, it's fine. It's just how it goes in. It's just very unsettling.
Let me tell you, building computers.
And also learning that the RAM has to go into specific slots is also interesting.
What was yours? Was it 2 and 4?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I think mine was not correct when I had to when I changed them. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna swap it out to 2 and 4.
Yeah, I think I had to swap mine too when because I think after I had done the whole process, it told me which one was the ideal ones. Which I'm sure some sort of manual would have told me if I read it beforehand. But...
Yeah. Well, the thing about 2 and 4 is that it's if you have just 2 sticks, it's ideal to put them in there because most motherboards use those for like. Dual channel memory, which is what most 2-stick RAM setups are.
Actually, I got all my 4 of my slots filled now, so.
Oh, so you have 32 by virtue of 2 sets of 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have 32 gigs with the 2 sticks. So theoretically,
I noticed the difference. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, I think things run faster.
Yeah, but mine does max out at 32. Like, I guess I can overclock it to go more than that, but I'm perfectly
Well, 3200 megahertz, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that might be your CPU or your motherboard. I think it's usually CPU limited, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it's probably my CPU, yeah. Because even when I bought my CPU, it still wasn't the best of the best. I think it was like 2 generations back.
Yeah, because you're using like DDR4 3200 RAM, I'm assuming, yeah. But yeah, when you add RAM to your setup, you do notice.
Yes.
It's kind of wild too, because you wouldn't think, even though it's double, you wouldn't think like it would make that big of a difference in terms of, and where it adds up the most is like just doing stuff. It's not like it's not like gaming or anything. It's just like when you're actually like when you're just like doing computer shit, it's faster.
Also, for the life of me, I could not find the RAM I was looking for without it being RGB. I'm like, well, I guess I'm getting RBG RAM for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah, no, that's like the default coloration of computer parts now. This graphics card just has it.
Mine,
like,
yeah, mine too.
When I bought it, I was like, oh, cool, it's a graphics card. I plug it in and it starts like glowing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess.
And mine has like, oh, you can customize the colors that you want. It's like, it's in my CPU. It's all blocked off here. Like, it's like a light show in there if I ever open this PC, and I'm like, I just don't care. Just give me the parts.
Dude, I have like a glass case, so I can actually see the inside, which is nice. So it does look pretty good, I'll say. But it's just like, I don't know how good it looks. It looks like 3 things are glowing in there, and the rest is pitch black. But, you know, like,
I think every one of my parts has some sort of RGB. Oh. Funny enough, I think the only thing that's not RGB in my computer is the graphics card. Other than that, everything else.
Oh, didn't you mention the graphics card had it?
No, it didn't have it.
Oh, okay. Oh no, Draco.
The RAM, everything.
Not a new PC. I fixed issues with my current one. So I think I should stop having the random-ass blue screens, finally. But we're just talking about RGB parts on computers and how, like, I think my favorite, there's like a video from this guy I was just watching his videos from. And I was like, this guy's pretty cool, I'm gonna check out his other video on, like, computer cooler stuff. And he was, like, talking about, like, the most frequently asked questions. And he was like, one of them is, like, do I have to look for RGB? Or like, how do I make sure I have RGB on my parts? And he goes, just assume that it does when you buy it, because most of them do now. Yeah. Well, no, here's the thing, Draco. They're not, it's not even that they're whack. It's just, like, you buy a part, and, like, it's just always going to be RGB. Like, it's you never have a choice. Like, I guarantee you, if I bought, like, that 4070 for, like, 600 bucks I saw at, like, the tech store I was at, I would have put it in my fucking computer, and it would have started flashing colors like this one, like this 3070 does. I'm just like, I don't...
Well, okay, so I just found another PC case that has a glass case on it. So if I ever need another PC case...
Now, glass cases, I think those are nice. But that's mostly so you can see the internals.
Yes. I am never, I'm sorry, you can tell me it's probably like the best way about it. I am never buying a water PC. I'm not doing
it. AIOs are fine.
I've seen people like, yeah, I got like a water system.
Okay, I don't have one of those. I have an AIO cooler. Those are like the, those are liquid cooling for pussies. But I'm a pussy.
Yeah, like...
How do I put it? Like, you don't really see the water at all. It's just got, like, a pump.
You have to replace it?
No. It's just a radiator and a pump.
Okay.
It's an all-in-one cooler.
Oh, okay.
That's what they're called. They're not technically liquid cooling strictly, but they are a liquid cooler. And they are recommended for certain types of processors, usually ones that generate more heat. Like the Ryzen ones, I usually recommend... You either... Oh, my pacemaker gonna be RGB? Real. But, like, the Ryzen processors are usually... You either have to have, like, a lot of air cooling, or you have an AIO cooler. I have both, technically. And so my computer does not get very hot. Like... For the record, too, this CPU is rated to run all the way up to 90 degrees without actually sustaining any issues. Like, as per the specifications itself on this CPU, it is rated at, like, 90 C is when it starts to throttle itself and slow down. So it takes quite a bit to actually overheat this chip. And I never reach any higher than, like, 75. And that's for, like, a split-second moment when it boosts up to high speed, and then it starts cooling. So, like... The cooling setup I have on my computer is quite good. I'm streaming and doing all of this, and it's not even hitting 50 degrees. Like... Dude, take a shot every time you hear this in a ROM hack. It's a banger though, so I'm okay with it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, like, the cooling system on this is quite good. But let me tell you, the fucking RGB, yeah. You just, like, it's like that guy in the video said, just assume that whatever you're buying comes with RGB on it, because it probably does. I will say, I'm glad they haven't raised the price of everything because of the RGB, but it is still just like, man...
I imagine you could shave like a couple bucks if you don't put RGB.
I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be offended if they started offering, like, parts about colors just to be cheaper.
Right? Like, it would be cheaper for them to make, too, wouldn't it, without the RGB?
Maybe, it's just a light.
But still, I don't know.
Like, on one hand, it is kind of nice to see. I do think... The thing about RGB that I'm, like, perfectly fine with is that it does at least signify that your parts are plugged in, which I like. My old Reb... I'll have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, but I'll tell the story in a second.
Sure. He's got to go practice the story in the mirror. It's okay. So hopefully everybody is doing the well out there today on this Monday evening on this end, but Monday or Tuesday, I suppose, in other parts of the world. Oh, I just noticed there's a progress meter on that. That's funny. You are currently 20.3% done with this raw mat. It's funny. I think I remember hearing RGB lights are like super cheap. Oh, probably, for sure. For sure. But still, I don't know. Just like, I don't know, the labor of it all, like, I would think you would save money just installing it. I don't know. Like, why don't it be like some kind of weird twist, like actually installing RGB lights is actually cheaper than actually like building it without it, which would be crazy. It's like in a situation where you gotta go down to go up or something. You almost bought an RGB chair once. That's what I'm thinking too, View. Also, Gil, if you ever do, or to anybody really, just get an office chair, like a salary office chair, instead of like any like gamer chairs. Those office chairs are like built to be sat in for hours upon hours. I would get one myself if they weren't like stupidly expensive. Ergonomic mesh chair. Probably what I need to look into myself. I just got this like $50 Walmart office chair. Which is comfy, don't get me wrong. It's a pretty decent chair for the price, plus I got a discount on it. But I definitely wouldn't mind like having a mesh back kind of chair. He's really practicing for the story he's gonna tell us. Also, I gotta start being mindful of, like, what I'm buying. Like, I would like to get, like, a really expensive chair and all that, but I'm in the process of trying to get a new house, so it's kind of where most of my money tends to be going towards at the moment. Speaking of, the housing market is insane. Sorry, I'm looking at a. I say I need to save money, and here I am looking at a Japanese auction right now.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. Did you practice your story?
Yeah. So, but like, if I look at my old like RAM sticks, right, and I plug them in, they don't do anything. Like they work, but I can't tell if they're actually slotted in all the way or not. But at the very least, the glowing on my RAM sticks tells me they're receiving power.
Yes.
And so that's the one thing I'll give RGB lighting credit for.
It lets you know.
It at least tells you your computer's working. Or like that it's not a component failing in that regard. That's also why I was like, oh my god, is what's going on with my computer like a failing hard drive or this or that? And then I ran all the tests and it was like, no. So I'm like, what the fuck? What is it then? But I'm happy to have finally fucking figured out the issue. And yeah, my temperatures are really good, and everything works. And I'm just very happy. And I haven't had any crashes in 2 days. We're gonna see if that can hold up. What was the issue? It was just blue screening and crashing a lot. And I think it was related to RAM or something else. I really couldn't tell you. But fixing my RAM configuration, updating my motherboard BIOS, and hooking up my RAM in the motherboard BIOS settings properly seems to have improved the stability of the system a lot. And it's also fixed my RAM's performance to actually be like the maximum it can do realistically out of the box, which is really nice. I'll take that. It's like a nice bonus. Overheard that conversation with somebody else. That's pretty funny.
I did.
They're talking about how the coffee maker just finished that coffee, and they're like, it smells really nice.
Not a coffee drinker myself.
Dude, Sonic music. But yeah, the issue is just like I would get random blue screens or crashes, and it wouldn't give me really a diagnostic to work with beyond like the stop code itself. And every time I looked at the stop code, it was like it was the RAM. So then I ran RAM tests, and it was like, oh yeah, your memory's fine. So I'm like, what the fuck is it then? And then I reinstalled Windows, and it seemed to be okay for a little bit, and then it started happening again, and I was like, oh my fucking god, what do I do? And then I looked up like stuff like, where do I put my RAM? Did I install it wrong? And it was like, oh yeah, you should put it in slots 2 and 4. And it was not in slots 2 and 4, it was in slots 1 and 4. I was like, okay, well I'll just move it to slots 2 and 4. And I moved it to slots 2 and 4. And then it was still giving me issues, and I was like, what the fuck now? And I'm like, you know what? This is the last thing I could think of. I was like, I'm gonna update my motherboard BIOS, and I'm gonna make sure like the RAM settings are like completely correct. So I did both of those things together, and here we are. I think it's fixed. My CPU is running at stock settings. There's nothing telling it to do anything besides just run properly. I have it on like the default mode and everything. It is as it was out the fucking box.
I never touch overclock settings whatsoever. It's just like I'm good. I don't want to touch that stuff. That is beyond me.
Well, the thing about Ryzen chips is that they kind of do it on their own. How do I put it?
Good. No, if it does it on its own, fine.
Yeah, so the way it works, right, is that it runs the cores at the speed they need to run at. And then if it encounters a situation where it can boost to make the program run, or if the program demands more CPU, it boosts those cores specifically. Which is why the temperatures, sometimes they go up and down really fast. Because it's just picking up the it's just picking up the temperature reading from that part of the CPU. But then it like normalizes. But that's what it does. Basically, it dynamically overclocks up based on like what is allowed thermally and what it can do. So like technically speaking, it's a 3.8 gigahertz processor, right? But individual cores can like self overclock up to 4.8. But it's completely safe because it's doing it within thermal limit and within like power use stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's all like what the processor does on its own. And that's really all I wanted. So I was like, I'm just gonna turn off any other things that I have on here. And then I did that, and then I did the RAM thing, and I'm like, you know what? It seems to be working now. The temperatures are fine. The RAM is fine.
I'm fine.
Everything's good, yeah. Reinstalling Windows and getting rid of a bunch of crap did help a lot, though. That reduced my temperatures down by like a ton.
Okay, but hear me out. How about instead of overclock, we underclock it?
Undervolting is a thing. I think I had
for like older PCs or something.
No, undervolting, they use that in new ones too. If you can get it stable, it's pretty good because all it does is it sends less voltage.
Okay.
And what that does is that it generally lowers temperatures while maintaining performance and sometimes even improving it. Because if the voltage is lower, they can boost more without heating up as much. That's really advanced, and you gotta tweak it a long time to get that to work stably. And I'm just like, I'm just gonna leave it. It is doing more than I need it to. Like this processor, honestly, is probably a little overkill for like this, but I think it doesn't hurt. The thing about emulation is that like you do need a good CPU for it. At least if you want to do like accurate emulation with pretty low input latency.
I like how their idea of buffing Boom Boom is to give his background parallax.
Oh. Excuse me? That'd be a Boom Boom hitbox buff right there. But yeah, like this 5800X is like, I probably could have gotten a 5700X. That's actually what I wanted, and then all they had was a 58, and I was like, fuck it, I'll skip it.
Especially with, I don't know, is people still using it to mine stuff now?
Oh, that was graphics cards. CPUs are never expensive. Like this, CPUs never got jacked up. No, they were always the same. The Ryzen, this 5800X cost me like 280, 290 Canadian, which would probably be around like 240, 250 US. And it's a pretty good processor. The only reason I didn't get like one of the Ryzen 7000s, because the 5000s are they're not that old actually. They were like 2021, 2022-ish or something like that. I think they might have been 2020 as well. I don't remember. But they're not that old. But the 7000s are their newest ones. But you need socket AM5 for that, and I don't have a motherboard for that. But if I did have a socket AM5 thing, I would probably have gotten like DDR5 RAM, because that's the new kind.
Sounds familiar.
Well, DDR5 is, you know, faster, again, but that kind of thing with RAM is not as important as, like, overall amount. Like, having more of it is still better than stuff like DDR4 and DDR5 and all that. But you know, basically, if my motherboard and shit ever goes out, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I might try and find like a PC parts guy here, because I had a friend build this for me, and I've been upgrading it on my own with lots of DIY and trial and error, but well, not really trial and error.
I just straight up, I didn't have anybody. I just straight up just put mine together.
But when it comes to replacing the motherboard, I would probably get a new power supply as well at that point. Yeah. And at that rate, with a new motherboard, I don't know if I'd get go for an AM5, like a socket AM5 setup, and
I think next time I build a PC, I'm gonna try to get something small, like a smaller case at the very least.
Like rehaul the cooling system and make it like a bit better, and then get a socket AM5 processor and everything. But right now, I am very happy with my setup, and I think it will last me quite a while. The most I could see myself ever needing to upgrade is my graphics card. And like, there are 4070s that are pretty cheap nowadays. So,
well, can you imagine yourself? Well, funny enough, like I'm thinking, it's like, would you really ever like upgrade your graphics card for like any big name PC games that like needs it? And I'm like, not really, other than like Super Mario 64 RTX stuff.
Yeah, that was the only time I did it, really. Well, I mean, like, newer games came out, like Street Fighter,
6?
Street Fighter 6, and, like, that's always gonna be a thing. And, like, my old 1070 probably wouldn't have handled that as well.
And, I guess you occasionally do boot up the new Guilty Gear 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's just good to have that kind of thing on lock, you know?
Speaking of that, you seen that Majora's Mask thing that's been going around?
Oh, the decomp? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it playable yet or no?
I think it's playable.
Is it finished?
I don't think it's finished.
Okay, because I know the Ship of Harkinian folks were working on it. I think. Or at least I heard they were. And when that
somebody brought up a very interesting point, and I might actually agree with it. Like, somebody said, I wish that the game does run at 60, but it still animates at 24.
Oh, like the game logic is handled at 60? That'd be weird. Like, that would just impact, I mean, the Ship of Harkinian just lets you interpolate it. But it looks pretty good when you interpolate it that way. But they use matrix interpolation, which is not the same as the stuff you'd see on, like, a YouTube video or whatever. A bit different.
Because Silly Galia, which I probably butchered the name of that, does that, but that's a game that's built around that.
But
where it runs at 60, but the animations themselves run at 24.
But yeah, Ship of Harkinian is pretty cool. So I'm guessing that that's what this is from Majora's Mask. I don't know if that's them though. I'd have to look at their website again to see. But it would be nice to have, because then you could have all of the QOL from the 3DS one without the stuff that wasn't great about it. Although somebody actually made a patched version of the 3DS game that has all of the 3DS new stuff.
I know that, yeah.
And also,
I don't know. I know eventually, like 20 years from now, when I get down to Majora's Mask, I'm just gonna do vanilla Majora's
I would do the patched 3DS one if I ever streamed it, just because I can't stand not being able to just pick the time I travel to. That shit like annoys me to no end. Oh.
Well, I mean, you hate waiting for video games.
Not really. I don't hate it. I just hate in Majora's Mask because I'm just like, man, this is like an adventure game. I want to explore.
And you do.
It's like a fine game though. I don't hate it. I think I'm like kind of hard on it sometimes, but I think it's a cool game overall.
Well, at least we know it's not it's not a Zelda game you flat out hate.
No. It's like Phantom Hourglass. Don't like that one at all.
I have a coworker at work who said for the longest time he hated Skyward Sword. That was like absolute, like he loves Zelda, but he hates Skyward Sword. And then the recent remaster changed his mind on it. He's like, you know what? I think Twilight Princess is the worst one now.
That is not an opinion, I think. Oh, Hilltop Zone! Yes!
Hilltop?
Bump, 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 bump. That's actually my favorite
we're in the
level.
mountains?
That's my favorite level in Sonic 2, believe it or not. Like, overall. Which is a really weird opinion. I've only heard, like, one other friend of mine even say that. And they agree with me. They're like, dude, finally, somebody else likes Hilltop Zone. I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking good level.
Sonic music is so funny in Mario Hacks.
It is. It is really funny to hear Sonic music in a Mario game.
Dude, hearing the Super Mario World theme and the Sega Genesis sound font is just hilarious to me.
Oh yeah, and like the fucking Genesis sound chip, yeah.
Yes.
It is.
Somebody did a version that's like just straight up. It's like, oh my god, this is just like, it's so Genesis it hurts. Also, that guy got stuck.
You think he'll unstuck himself?
Maybe someday.
City Escape in the Mario 64 sound font? Oh yeah, I remember that.
I have some actually really cool Undertale and Delta Road music in the 64 Mario sound font. It was really nice.
But yeah, outside of all that stuff, life is going okay. Computer getting fixed is great. It means I'll have to spend more money on this computer. That was my fear. In my head, I'm like, come on, man. I've already spent so much fucking money. I paid so much for Cliff. I paid so much for my new stick. I have spent so much goddamn money.
Well, I mean,
lately.
okay, to be fair, you can use your stick on other consoles, though, right?
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, part of the reason I got it was because the PCB and the other one was dying. And, like,
Right.
you know, there's a point where it's just like, you know, I just need to get new hardware. Like, sometimes you just gotta anyways, because, like...
Yeah...
Because it's just like, well, how long is this gonna work with modern-day adapters anyways? It's a fucking 10-year-old stick. Now I have something that if I go to an event and they're playing on PS5, I can play on a PS5.
Yeah.
It's just useful. That and I love the feel of it. It's a very nice feeling stick.
I think I've just come to terms that I'm just never gonna learn arcade stick. I'm just gonna be forever a pad player.
Pad is like the best controller. So you're fine.
Unless I'm playing a 2D fighting game on PC, then I'll use a keyboard. I'm just comfortable that way.
But like pad,
But if it's a 3D fighting game on PC, then I have to use a controller.
pad is so comfy. The reason pad is so good is because not only is it like you can do all sorts of good input shortcuts and everything on pad, you can travel pads so easily.
Yes.
Like, hitboxes are a little bit better than sticks in some regard for that, too. They're a little easier to travel, but I do think they look less like a controller than an arcade stick, so there's like a higher chance of you getting stopped by TSA. Arcade sticks are a second place in that regard, and then
Dude,
and like TSA...
Don't even get me started when Omega was traveling, and they stopped him, thinking he had something in his hair. It was insane.
But like, so arcade sticks might get you stopped by TSA.
I'm pretty sure that was Omega that happened.
And then at the very, very, very fucking bottom is game controllers, like pads. You are never getting stopped at TSA for a pad. Ever. Those things are so fucking common in travel that like every single person that does like airport security has seen a pad before. Like they just have.
You'd be surprised.
I wouldn't, because I've never seen anybody get stopped for a pad. Like, they are completely inconspicuous. Like, a video game controller like that is just, like, synonymously known in society. It is without question. But, like, an arcade stick, there's a chance they'll know. Because sticks were once the most common controller. And also, like, they look like a video game controller. Like, it's a big fucking lever with buttons, right?
Right.
Hitboxes are just like a bunch of buttons and a lot of wiring. But yeah, I mean, pad definitely has its ups and downs. I think most new fighting games, however, are built around pad. Is the main reason.
Nowadays, yeah.
Part of why I hate playing new fighting games is that it feels like there's so many input macros in those games for like things that didn't normally have it, but you need to have the macro on.
Yeah, because now think about it, Tekken 8 didn't even have an arcade version, did it? This is the first Tekken that was built around arcade.
Like the dash button in Strive, you need that. The game is straight up like just built around that. But like, I'm trying to add the dash button on my fucking button layout, and I'm like, this has to go where my taunt button was, which is fine, because, you know, Cliff isn't in Strive, so I don't have to do taunt for Oki. But like...
Sound of music.
But like, dude, why do I need to fucking press this bottom right button to dash in the middle of my combo? And why is it needed to be that precise if you're gonna add like... And like, there are more than one macro in that game that you need on your controls. So it's like, you have to fucking spider your hand around a stick to just try and like... hit all the macros for stuff. Just like, come on. Even SF6, I need a drive impact button. I can't just move my hands to press both heavies on reaction.
Oh, by the way, Akuma.
He looks really cool, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've never played a fighting game on pad, but...
Yes, you did.
Maybe I have, but I've never, like, seriously grinded out pad execution ever.
What are you talking about? We grinded out Star Wars Master of Terra Kasai.
Okay, let's get this straight. That didn't work. I mean, it was awful. But like, I have never like seriously used pad for like competing or like as a controller of choice.
That controller was straight up garbage that we picked up.
And like, I think pad is good for like normal games. Like this, you can play on a pad. Like, I don't think this would be very comfortable on stick. Well, that depends, actually. A lot of movement-intensive platformers are actually pretty okay on stick.
Well, how about Celeste?
Honestly, maybe. If I had, like, a JLF or not a Seimitsu lever, maybe.
I don't know, I just can't imagine, like, a 2D platformer with a stick.
I learned stick on Mega Man X4. That was how I learned how to play on an arcade stick.
I remember you playing it at Evo.
Yeah, no, I did that in that room. That was like the first time I'd ever like figured out how to use an arcade stick in my life.
That's funny.
And I learned it through Mega Man X4 playing as Zero. And that was when I realized you can like train yourself to like learn different peripherals in other games. It's pretty cool.
And people wonder why they picked Zero for Mega Man and Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
But I remember doing that, and then I was like, wow, the stick feels amazing for certain kinds of 2D games. But I don't think I'd like it for I don't think I'd like it for Mario or something like that, where you have to like really have like precise left and right movement. Because Mega Man is a lot about like moving forward constantly. You don't usually like. It doesn't have a lot of like. Mega Man is very there's not a lot of analog movement besides the jumping.
Well, I guess it also helps that Capcom was known for fighting games when they made Mega Man.
Well, not even that. It's also just like Mega Man doesn't have things like momentum. You don't always have to be worrying about like shifting your momentum like you are in Mario. Like you have a running and your jump, you can alter the arc a lot based on like just your speed, right?
Right.
And like your movement input. Like in Mega Man, you always move at a linear speed. You like hold forward, and he does a little animation, and he starts walking. Like that is always going to be the case. He's always going to move at that fixed speed in the air and on the ground.
Mega Man 11 does that too still? Or?
Yes. I mean, like every classic Mega Man game. And in Mega Man X, you have two speeds. You have dash and you have the normal speed. And the dash is controlled by a button. It's not controlled by a lever.
Yes.
So But yeah,
So
like
what you're saying is Mega
I
Man-
would say modern fighting games, based on like the amount of macros and like the way inputs are handled and everything else, are pretty much designed around pad because they are just on home consoles. And that's also why the whole debate on hitbox legality and everything is still kind of ongoing because it's like, unless you're playing like a new game, the controller is weird in older games, to say the least. Not bad at all. Just a lot of old games don't really have anything to handle the controller. Like, they don't expect you to press 2 different inputs at the same time, because that was just never possible on the hardware they ever made it on.
But it can lead to some funny stuff, though.
It can, absolutely. I don't know if they ever had to update Plus R to have any specific kind of SOCD. Because a lot of hitboxes have it built in now. But I personally believe that if you're playing, for new games, I think SOCD should be handled by the game. I don't believe it on a hardware level, because then you have, like, it gets really weird. I would personally rather just video games be like, yeah, this is how we want 2 inputs, like 2 directions at the same time to be handled. Oh.
That sense, because at that point, say it does go to hardware at that point, then everything's gonna have, like, different rules.
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because then you end up with the situations like where Daigo's controller in Street Fighter V got, like, it wasn't allowed because it had a different SOCD handling than the standard hitbox. But it's like, well, if the game handled it and didn't care about what the hitbox did...
So Street Fighter V never updated to handle it on its own, or...?
I don't think so, I don't remember. But that's because, again, most hitboxes... I don't remember what the standard SOCD is. It's not last input, is it? Draco Dragon, you might know, because he plays on hitbox. Is the standard last input, or is it, something else? I don't think the standard's last input, actually.
Oh! On a similar note, standard is not last input. Okay.
Yeah, standard is neutral, is it not? Like, if you press both at the same time, you get a neutral input?
So it acts like if you haven't pressed anything at all.
Yeah. Well, no, it acts like if you press left and then you immediately just jam down right, it's going to treat it like you're just pressing neutral after pressing left.
Oh, okay.
Last input means that if you press both, it just only holds the last input you pressed. So, like, if you press left and then right and then you hold both, if you pressed right last, which you just did in this example, you will get a right input. Now, I don't know what the ideal standard would be. SF6 push for up down equals... Oh, that's fucking horrible. Because that makes flash kicks feel completely unusable, does it not?
Yeah, because now you have the whole situation of charge characters.
Oh, charge characters are the, probably the biggest benefit.
Well, that's
that
what
big
I
of a
mean.
deal?
Like,
Well, I remember it being a big,
yeah, it was definitely more of a talking point back then, yeah. Has to be with TKs.
Generally speaking, most people, I think, prefer... when it comes to, like, rulings and stuff, most people prefer it to not be last input.
I mean, I'll be for real. Like, I have not been part of the greater FGC conversation in a while.
Well, last input is just, like...
Well,
really,
I mean, like, just in terms of, like, common consensus and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to remember what the entire debate was, but I remember last input was pretty contentious in Street Fighter V, anyways. Yeah, last input opens up... Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And I mean, it's not like left-right equals neutral doesn't either. But it seemed like last input opened up more. more goofy shit than it didn't, you know? I do kind of hate that, like, the entire pull for these controllers has sort of led to this weird, like, arms race of, like, creating an optimal fighting game controller or whatever. The marketing around hitboxes by the actual hitbox team is, like, consistently disappointing. Because it kind of feeds into, like, negative community perceptions. At like, no real benefit.
That's definitely what the FGC needs right now.
At, like, no real benefit to the product itself, I would say. Because I get it. You know, obviously, there are a ton of reasons to want the controller to be legal, including, like... Oh, big world? To want the controller to be legal, including, like, hand health reasons and, like, a number of other things. And just the fact that, like, they're common enough now that, like, it has clearly helped enough people play the games that I can't, in good faith, argue for them to ever not be legal, because it would bar a lot of people from playing. And, like, frankly, at this point, I'm not really down to do that. But, like, the entire conversation around, like, how much you can actually mod the controller is interesting.
What do you mean I can't play my... I can't enter with my pizza box controller?
Well, it's... Yeah, I agree, too. But, like, the marketing is, like, deliberately really inflammatory, which is really annoying. Where it's just like, you can do... Look at all these input tricks, and it's like, okay... But, like, you know what people are gonna, like, reply to this with.
Right.
You were sending that out, you know that. It almost feels like an attempt at self-sabotage. It's very annoying.
Well, it's like you saying, at that point, it has to be on the developers of the games at this point.
Well, yeah, and I mean, they all build their games around it, so it's like, whatever.
Right.
It's like, oh, you can do these inputs easily in Tekken, and it's like, yeah, I guess you can. But it's just like, man... the rabbit hole that I really don't like is a bunch of, like, controller modding and, like, the idea that, you know, eventually people are just gonna, like... It's gonna be because I'm just not a tinkerer. I don't like modding controllers that much. Like, the most I want to do is get custom stick art, and maybe one day change buttons and try a different lever. But, like... I don't know.
You gotta hardwire and all that.
There's definitely, like, a lot of crazy shit. But I also think people vastly overestimate the edge it can give you. But at the same time, games are kind of built in a way that makes that controller better. It's kind of how it is. Like, Street Fighter being based around, like, really micro movement oriented things. Whereas, like, if you play something like older, like Plus R or Super Turbo, it's like, it's not really gonna matter whether you're on a hitbox or not. Yeah, it's really funny how it works, right? Like, hitboxes are way easier to use in newer games, because they're treated as a standard controller. But playing anything old, like, if you try to play old KOF on a fucking hitbox, oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh,
like, pretzel combos on that thing?
I mean, not even pretzels, like, just half circles and, like, all sorts of other stuff is a nightmare in old KOF, because the input interpreter on a fucking stick isn't good. I can't even... Could you even imagine on a hitbox you can miss diagonals really easily? Because the thing about getting diagonals on a hitbox is that you have to go... when you're pressing the buttons, it's hard to get diagonal inputs. Because, you're going from, like... You know, you're on a keyboard, right? You go left, down, right? Or whatever, right? But it's hard to hit the diagonals because... on a hitbox, since your fingers are moving on and off the button so fast, you usually miss diagonal inputs because you're not pressing down and left at the same time. You're usually just, like, going left, down, right because your hands are sliding around. Whereas on a stick, it's basically impossible to not hit the corners because you're riding the gates.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah, button releases has to be time. Yeah.
And old games. How do I get?
You probably walk through the background there.
You know what? Oh, what a genius!
I saw the coloring of the ground look a little different.
But yeah, it's just like when I play. What the fuck?
He was so big.
That's the other thing about Hitbox too, is that I think people really overestimate how really underestimate how unintuitive that thing is. Just like keyboard is not intuitive either.
Right.
Like, I think, like, doing motions on a joystick is frankly more natural to me. Because sticks are made to be, like, swung around and spun, and... I don't know, man, it's fucking more natural than, like... doing a fucking Hadoken on a hitbox. I mean, Draco, I guarantee you, going from down to forward on a stick, like, via a gliding motion... is definitely, like, a more intuitive thing. I think the real thing is jumping on hitboxes.
See, when it comes to fighting games, I just prefer D-pad.
I am a hitbox hater in the sense that, like, these motherfuckers have jumping on their fucking thumb like they're playing Half-Life. Like, frankly, I'm sorry, I do not want to do my Half-Life 1 speedrun while I'm trying to do a cliff combo. I just want to do the cliff combo on the stick. I mean, they're technically better, but I would hate the feel of it. It would feel like I'm just playing fucking Gary's mod. Because I'm hitting the spacebar with my thumb.
What, you don't want to do crouch jumping everywhere?
But the thing about sticks, though, and the reason I still play on stick is because, as I've said before, I just think it's fun. Like, if I cared about having the most optimal controller, I would definitely get a hitbox.
Right, it's also a preference thing, too. Like, some people are just more comfortable...
But, like, the feeling of, like, moving a stick and doing, like, the motions on stick is super... I mean, this is, like... This is a purely by feel thing, but it's just like, yeah, right. I love that shit. I love just doing motions and, like moving the joystick around. So basically what you're saying
is next time we meet up, you're gonna be like all of the controllers.
Yeah, that's the other thing with sticks, though, is that they're always more expensive than hitboxes, because hitboxes are cheap. You can get, like, because they're all buttons, so, like, they're actually...
I recall hitboxes being pretty expensive when they first were coming
Well, that's because they only had the Hitbox brand hitboxes. Now you can get, like, you can get $50 hitboxes on AliExpress that are quality. They're just literally 3D printed buttons and 3D printed sticks, and they just work really good.
I should go to Temu and see how bad the arcade sticks are on that.
But, like, getting a good hitbox is actually easy as fuck. And the reason is because they're just all push buttons. Like, that's all it is. It's a circuit board and a bunch of buttons. And, like, you don't have to worry about a lever, you don't gotta worry about any of that other shit, like actuators and, like, lever springs and shit, or, like, gates. No, it's just literally 4 push buttons and then the regular, like, 6 or 7 buttons that you'd have on a regular stick. So for people to produce them, they are just cheaper. And they can get really small and tiny in form factor, which also means they don't have to cost as much, because they're really small, and they're easy to produce.
And they make the conversation come full circle. Hitbox with RGB. Oh,
yes. But, yeah, Draco, for sticks that are not expensive, that are good at entry level, it's really hard. Like, the Kwamba Titan is really good, but that's like $220. Like, that's not really... I don't like recommending, like, really cheap sticks either, because usually the parts suck, is the problem with that. You want good parts. The thing about getting a cheap hitbox is that, like, it's hard to find, like... I mean, it's not hard to find crap buttons, but you're usually not going to get a crap button on your like, hitbox. But I would say, if you saved up money for a Kwamba Titan, you could give it a try. I don't think you would be disappointed. But... The Combat Titan is not that bad for price. Like, 229 is not the worst. You could also try Kwamba Drone. Those are really small and they're not terrible. But a lot of people are like, it's the drone. They're not like the best parts. But they're pretty cheap. Like, the drones are like 100 and some bucks. They're like... They're cheaper than like most on-brand hitboxes. That's another thing too, though, is that yeah, it's at least right now, if you know people, yeah, I would say just like ask somebody, hey, can I play on that? Like, let me try it and see if you like it. The other thing is that you're going to miss out on a lot of things that you have already that you've learned on Hitbox. But like, I will not deny that sticks are extremely fun to play on. There is something
I'm sure.
There is something just so satisfying about it. Like, the sound of the lever, like, moving and rocking, and the sound of, like, the buttons. I love it so much.
Oh, dude, I need to try. I don't know why I thought of this. I need to take my Resident Evil 4 chainsaw controller, get a converter, and play, like, just a modern fighting game with it. Just to see.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, for Plus R specifically, if you ever want to go and, like, play with the players in Japan, unless you want to go to, like, you want to hang out at the person's house and go, like, online for net games, they play at the arcades there, yeah, and so you kind of have to learn Stick to play, like, Plus R with any of, like, the top players in Japan if you go to visit. So... Okay,
yeah, the top player, I imagine, yeah, they're still...
Well, yeah, because, I mean, Plus R still has, like, arcade machines over there. And that's where they primarily play.
The Steam version of Plus R has an arcade version?
No, it's just the arcade version of the game.
Oh, okay.
Which is funny, because there's a home console exclusive tech, which I...
Right, that's what I was thinking, yeah. Oh, that was weird.
Well...
It's a story.
It's Mar.
It's Mar.
Who is it? The Master Brother. Holy shit.
The way these ROM hacks handle stories.
Oh!
Oh my god, he is going.
Why is he invisible?
Why isn't he?
I got. Oh, okay. I don't know why that was there. It made me think I needed that. Okay. But yeah, like, they all play on Stick over there technically because, you know, they play the arcade. And I do want to go there at some point. My good friend Terragor has been like, yeah, man, if you come down here, I'll house you. Dude, I'm the same way. I literally, I'm like at a very... Today, I got, like, approved for an extra $3,000 on my credit.
Oh, nice. I wish I could do that.
And I'm, like, well in the positives in my accounts. And, like, I am still just like, I don't want to spend money. Are you kidding me? I don't want to do that. It's the worst. It's the worst. I'm just I'm a cheap ass. I am just like that. I've accepted it, but I don't like it. But I completely understand. But I would say give it a try at CB. I do think though that since you do want to go to Japan, you probably are gonna have to get a stick then. Like, that's just what it is. The reality of the situation is that if that's your end goal or you want to do that at some point for Plus R, I can't just say, oh yeah, you could just try one out. You're probably gonna have to get one and learn how to play on it. And also learn the rainbow layout, or like the standard arcade layout, because you can't rebind the buttons on the cabs. So I'm fucked. Anyways. Terragor's like, oh, you can learn it, and I'm like, I'm learning that some of these cabs have the fucking taunt button. Some fucking cabs have the taunt button all the way over where the fucking start button is. So like, to do Cliff Oki, I would have to go from 6p to that. On certain cabs. And I'm like, oh, what? And Terragor is like, yo man, you'll do great. And I'm like, I don't know about that, man. I I think I'm gonna get washed because my layout isn't there. Standard gear is, oh god, how do I explain this? How do I, like, describe a button layout? Bottom left is P. Top left is K. Middle, oh god, hold on. I can just try typing it out. Hold on. I think it's something like this. Fuck, that did not come out the way I thought it would. Here, I'll just DM you. There, check your Discord. It's something like that. Where it's, I think they call it the rainbow layout or something? I don't remember. It's not bad at all, I imagine, if you learned on it. But I learned on, like, the game's default bindings, because I just assumed that was what the layout was. No, it was not. Because my layout, I don't know if this is yours, Draco. I'll just DM you mine. It's this is mine. Like, I have PSD on the top and KH respect on the bottom row. That is my input layout. Because that was just what the game standardized me to. So I was like, okay, I assume that's the default. No, it's not. That's not the default! Why the fuck would the game not just start me on the arcade default layout? But, whatever. But, yeah. It's gonna be an experience when I go.
You should, though.
I do want to. Like, Terragort's offered to house me. The only problem is it'd be really fucking expensive. I don't even know where I'd fly out from, because I don't think any airport anywhere near me would fly me to fucking Japan. Like, there's just no way.
You might have to get stopped.
I would probably have to go to the Detroit airport.
Yeah.
And even then, that might be a toss-up, because that's still really far. Like, to Japan.
Well, I mean, just know that, you know, if you need, like, a stop, he's like, hey, you could crash on my place for a day in order to make the trip or something, you know?
Dude, you know how far you live from me?
I'm just saying, you know, airports can be weird, okay? I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah, no, the Canadian dollar is above the yen, too. But the problem is they're not going to be charging me in the Japanese currency to book my flight. That's not going to be the one that I'm paying with. Unfortunately. Because if that was the case, I would have been there right now. You wouldn't even be seeing me stream. I'd be at Terragort's house right now smashing back a beer. But unfortunately...
Beer or sake, my friend?
Other expenses will be lower. I mean, yeah, when I'm actually there, it won't be that bad. But the actual flight is by far the most expensive part. Because Terragort housing me means that I'm not, like, paying for a hotel. Which pretty much cuts most of the expenses. At least that's why when I visit my friends in the US, it's pretty easy. I just go to their house, and I hang out, and it's like...
Crash on the couch, yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, yep. This cost me like $500 for round-trip flight. Or like 600 maybe.
I would love to go traveling to other countries, Japan specifically, but it's just like
Japan. Well,
I don't know anybody. Expenses too, just having the time off, and I don't know. I guess a part of me's kind of terrified because of the language barrier.
But that one, yeah. See, that's the thing about knowing somebody is that you can. That's the reason that's the only reason I'd be going. It's because like Terragort offered. Yeah. And, like, I've talked with a lot of the Japanese players.
I need to sit down and learn some Japanese. I really do.
Like, they have a pretty good grasp of English. I know they do, but I don't know. Like,
I just don't want to go to another country and be disrespectful, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, but, when it comes to the plus R players there, like, which would be the primary people I'd be visiting...
Right.
I wouldn't be too worried about that, because again, I would have Terragort there to help me out.
Trust me. If no matter what, if I'm going to Japan, I am binging on food. I want to taste everything. So I would have to learn a few things.
But it would be very fun to go hang out with Terragoit there. And meet all the players and everything.
Oh yeah, same view. Like just going to a Japanese arcade has got to be like, gotta be an experience. Like even when arcades was a thing around the United States, it's probably like still nothing compared to Japanese arcades.
Sonic music? Sonic CD! Oh, I don't remember what level this is though. This might be Quartz Quadrant past, actually. I think it is.
Oh, he's fat. He's a little fat.
You wanna fight? Yeah, that'd be really fun. I just wanna say hi to Cascade, to be quite honest with you. Honestly, I've accepted that if I go there, my highest power level will be playing online against other Japanese players, because like that it ain't no way I'm fucking with those layouts, I'm sorry.
Ah, come on, you should at least try it.
Well, I will! I will get fucking cooked though. It's just what it's gonna be.
Never say never.
Sorry, the convenience of rebinds is... What?
But no, Japan would be a neat spot to go to. I don't know. I should just go to Canada just to finally say, hey, I've been to another country.
You should. It's honestly not that expensive to travel up here from the
I'm
US.
sure it's not. It's almost like you're next door or something.
Visiting me and my family would be pretty fun.
I gotta do that. You've come down here a number of times now. I need to...
Yeah, I think maybe you need to come up to see me for a change.
Yeah.
You'd love to visit me? Damn. Well, I mean, go... Get in line, but also DM me if you're actually interested in flying out.
We should just have like a TTTSD convention.
Please don't make my house does not have enough room. I already live with 2 family members. There's just no way it's happening.
We'll rent out your local gymnasium.
Well, the thing is, if this would happen, I would suggest that we, like, do it in, like, London, Ontario. Like, right around where I have other family.
It's funny that Canada has a London.
But I don't know, it would definitely be really fun.
I'm itching to like do events again. It's been far too long since I've been.
Yeah, I will say, Frosty's 2023 was amazing, getting to beat everybody, but I think 2024 was not only just a better ran event, but like actually entering and stuff was really fun.
Are you going to combat break?
No, not the money. Unfortunately.
I need to do combat breaker at some point. Maybe next year.
But flying, you recording a bunch of match footage for it? Yeah, you know what? Fuck yeah, dude. Come to my house and play it. That's one way to sell your game. I flew to my friend's house and...
I mean, people have done that.
It's like one of those like reaction videos. Like live T5 reaction, I flew to his house.
Yeah.
That's real, you could do that. Sorry, Crash Bandicoot TNT. Oh shit. I think this hack predated Minecraft Steve and Smash Brothers. Just letting you know that right now. I think, though, I don't know. Can I just... Yeah, okay. Oh yeah, the other thing you gotta do, Draco, is you gotta beat every Kirby game, now that you're on vacation. But I'm thinking, Kart would be fun to do tonight. When I'm done streaming, I'll We gotta live stream on Twitch every Kirby game. I think that'd be very fun. Because Kirby games are great.
Yeah.
Make an alternate Kirby layout? Yeah. My stream layout is kind of lazy, but I like it.
See, do what I do. Just
don't have one.
You're lazy. Oh, that too. But instead of just saying like you're lazy, just say it's an aesthetic. That's what I do.
Oh, he ate the explosion. That was crazy. I didn't think you could do that.
That's very powerful, Yoshi. Oh, also, whatever these things are called, I can't remember the name.
They're creepers. It's Minecraft.
Creeper,
come on, man. How out of touch with the kids are you?
I'm very out of touch with the kids.
You know that song, like Creeper Oh No or whatever the fuck? The only reason I know about that is because Kame talked about it once. But you know, don't worry about me. Worry not about me, sir. Fret not.
For the record, young kids and teens audience out there right now, I have not played Minecraft, so I'm not on the up and up.
Dude, if you're young and in my audience, and I don't know who you are explicitly, I'm sorry, you should, scooch.
No, Twitch says if you're 13 or older, you can stick around.
Well, that's what Twitch says.
That's what Twitch says.
That's their general rules. This is my stream.
Dude, there was one time, this was back when FNF was at its high, I had, like, kids come in and just say some of the most bizarre things. I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, you gotta go.
I mean...
I'm not saying all kids are bad, but, like, just some are like,
the majority
I don't
of
think
the
you should
youth,
be around.
The majority
right
of
now.
the youth that I get in my streams, they backseat with earnest intention, but I don't want that.
Right.
Like, if I don't want your advice, or you're just gonna say stuff in chat that doesn't really give me anything to talk about.
Like, I know some people don't like it, but I don't mind off-subject topic
yeah, no, but it's gotta be like a conversation, you know?
You know you're going in circles, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to do
that. Okay.
Listen, give me some credit here.
I give you all the credit. Oh! So I had an epiphany the other day on platformers. I think I realized what my issue is on both 2D and 3D. I think I have some hardwired in my brain how jumps work incorrectly. And I don't know where the source started from. But in my head, it's insane how long I've gone without noticing this. So, let's take Mario here, for example. So, for some reason in my head, I think I always have a jump stored. So, if I'm falling off a platform without jumping, I think I have it. But that's not a rule.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm trying in my head, where did I get this from? It's gotta be some weird platformer that I played that does have that rule. That no other platformer has. Because I noticed this when I was playing Frog Gun, and I'm like, oh my god, this is my issue with platformers.
But yeah, my stream layout is just like the Sonic Mania thing. With like a chat box. But I want to make a logo for Mario Hack Mondays and have it like on the bottom right or something.
You should probably try to get somebody commissioned for a custom background.
Oh my god, I don't want to spend any more money right now. Listen, if my streams were bigger, I would pay more money.
What, my dude? You got 1,000 followers.
I do. I don't know how.
I mean, you don't know how. You're talented. You're funny. You're really good at video games.
I mean, I know how, but like, okay, let me rephrase.
Okay.
I do want to put more into streaming.
I hear that.
And so, like, but until my income is better, I don't want to put a ton of money into this, because because I don't know if if it would be a worthy investment.
Well, I think the fact that you're able to, like, get a tip, basically, the way I look at it.
And also, the thing about the amount of followers I have is I don't know how many of them actually watch anymore, which is its own issue. I'm not even complaining. It's just like what it is.
Well, I like to think the fact that they still continue to follow even if they don't watch you is still...
Yeah, it's nice, and it does help. And usually I don't go with... I don't have empty streams very much. I used to have that problem where I would have a stream and, like, maybe get 1 or 2 chat messages the whole night. That never happens anymore. Ever. So, I am very thankful that people stick around and watch. But, like... Stream backgrounds and commissions are expensive, and I've already spent a lot of money.
This is true. And it's insane to me. I don't know how much you get bots or people coming to you for offers.
Oh,
like,
never.
I get those streams where I have nobody, and yet I get offers all the time on Twitter, on YouTube, and they say, hey, commission me for emotes and whatnot. It's like, do you people not know what? I have nobody. I have, like, barely over 100 followers. Why are you asking me this? Why are you advertising to me?
Yeah, it's a state. The other thing is I don't have like a consistent thing, and I'm almost thinking like as much as variety is fun, I do want to try and find my footing into something consistent so people know what they're getting into, and I want to start making images where I post like weekly stream schedules so people can actually plan to come see it.
Oh yeah.
Because, I have like set days. It's usually Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday.
Yes.
Or at minimum. And then,
I need to get better about that myself.
But I need to start making, like, this is the days this week that I'm going to stream at these times. And then if I have to make an adjustment to that, I could just tweet out an announcement. And I want to start doing that. That's why it's like, tomorrow I'm going to make the Mario Hack Mondays logo. And then I have to think about, like... what else I can do with that. But it's a process. But I just don't want to pay for a big expensive stream layout that I'm using for something that isn't like a part of my life that
not a focus, right?
That's not like my... Well, I think streaming is a focus. I feel like I need to shift gears in a way that makes it feel like a more concentrated focus. Yeah, and I need to write more, too. I've been really, really behind on that. I am working, and I am hopefully going to get the Dr. Robotnik's Ring Racers review out sometime this week. I think I've beaten enough of that game and played enough of it to write the review, even though I'm still missing those 2 emeralds that I'm probably going to get on tomorrow's stream. But I think I've played enough of the game to write the full review for it. And talk about why I think it is an incredible kart racer and well worth anybody's time. And I appreciate streaming Ring Racers because I always pull a great number of viewers. It's had consistently great viewership for me. And, like, it's fun to play and stream. So, I might make it regular. Because it is fun to stream, it is fun to play. People enjoy watching me play it. The only thing is I don't know, like, to what degree I can take that. Because, like, at a certain point I'm going to run out of single-player content.
Right.
So it's like, do I go online? The only problem with going online is that, like, what servers are going to have Cliff, because the mod boards aren't public yet. Like, Cliff hasn't been released publicly.
Right.
Even though I've, like, sent him to some people that have asked. He's just not technically out. But he will be as soon as the message boards open up for mods. He'll have a public release thread.
Right.
But it's like, if I streamed online lobbies... that might be okay, like, if I just go into other lobbies. I don't know how to make my own server, and I certainly don't know if I want to go through that hassle. I could just join other ones and just play on stream and have fun. That would be, like, the extent of the Ring Racers, like, content that I could keep making. I hate calling it content, too. It makes it sound robotic. I guess Ring Racers streaming. but when I say content creation, it always feels really hollow. I never like calling it that. And that might be the problem, is that, like, I don't want to make stuff like that feels like I am not creatively 100% endorsing what I'm doing. I don't like making clickbaity thumbnails. I don't like trying to game the algorithm. And that is an issue when trying to actually grow. I might have to get myself more accommodated with doing streams of games that, like, I wouldn't normally stream. And that can be fun in its own way. But, like,
right, yeah.
I gotta be more trendy, I guess, and stuff.
Like, I'm just, and I know this is a reason why I'm not as big as I am, I guess, I don't know. I just play whatever just interests me. Whether it be popular or not. Like, I'm not, if a game is popular and I just happen to like it, cool. But
yeah, currently my issue is that I think my selection of games is a little limited, and also, like, jumping to conclusions is fun to do when I have time. Yeah. But I am running out of games on there, and I don't know what I want to do after I'm done. I was thinking 3D games maybe, but that would be like, I would have to basically restructure the rules, because 15 minutes is not enough for a 3D platformer. Most of them are way too big. Like, you cannot figure out a 3D platformer and like make a meaningful judgment. Even though the joke is that it's called jumping to conclusions, I say 15 minutes because I think that is enough time for most 2D platformers for me to go, yeah, this is... Oh yeah, I have gotten at least a couple Twitch offers like, hey, do you want to do, like, quests for our thing? I'm like, no. No, I don't want to advertise your game. I'm sorry. Well, here's the thing. I will show your game, but I have to actually want to play it. And
dude, I was head over heels when just this random RPG maker company is like, hey, dude, you want to show off our game? And
yeah, like when it's something that where what I am advertising interests me.
Right.
I will do it. But I'm not about to be like, oh yeah, just some fucking mobile game that I don't play. Like, I don't even know how to fucking stream it. I don't even know how you would have to, like, download.
Oh, well, I was about to say you can use BlueStacks.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you'd have to do that or something. But like, come on, I don't want to do that. That just wouldn't. And for the record, some people take those offers, but they actually like the game, and that's like perfectly fine. You know, you're shilling.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there are people who like Raid Shadow Legends somehow.
Not even that one. I mean, it's like any game. Like, I know I have a friend that has done like the stuff for Nikkei. And he was like, yeah, I actually like the game. I like playing it. I'm like, yeah, well then, like, it doesn't feel like an obligation. But when you get these...
Oh, the booty game, yeah.
The Gooner game? Yeah, I mean, okay. I'll admit, it's not up there on my priority list. In fact, I think it is a hella Gooner game. But, you know, I respect it more than Blue Archive. So, like, I guess it has that. But, like, I just... Like, the closest I could see myself taking, like, a mobile game sponsorship is something like Genshin Impact. Whoa. Because Genshin Impact, like, has gameplay, I'm sure. Like, I've seen videos of it, and I'm like, I would probably be okay with playing this.
I was actually about to make the joke, so basically we're waiting for your Genshin Impact stream, but here you are.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I don't know. If I got, like, an email and they were like, hey, man, you wanna shill this game for, like... Oh, sure. You know, I've always thought about playing it. Why not? I'm sure I will never play it again past that stream. But, you know, or past whatever the fucking requirements are for us to send you, like, $300. Like a fucking small paycheck. For shilling this to your whatever audience, right? Like, sure, I'll play Genshin Impact. I'm sure everybody that follows me already knows what the fuck that is anyways, so...
I just know Genshin Impact exists. I think I got an understanding of how it plays, but I don't at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know either. It looks like it's fun. It looks like a perfectly acceptable game, so... Like,
somebody told me it's just like MOBA Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But yeah, I'm like... Yeah, sure, you know what? If it's something that I actually wanted to play, but the only ones I've gotten are for, like, mobile games that are just like... I don't even know. I'm just like, I would not play this. I'm sorry. It's not what I. That's not what I come to a video game for. I don't.
Yeah,
do
I
that.
can say I never had mobile game offers. That hasn't happened to me.
It's only like through like stream elements and stuff where it's just like, hey, you want to do this? And I'm like, not really.
Which is funny because I've had streamed mobile games before in the past.
Yeah, I'm just like not. I'm not interested. But yeah, when it comes to streaming, I do want to. I think I've gotten really good about getting at least 3 or 4 streams out a week. I think I've actually lived up to that requirement. And my VODs.
Yeah, 'cause I think lately at the minimum it's been 2.
Well, no, two minimum was last year. And this year I think I've at least gotten 3 per week. And the lowest I get, I guess you're right, is 2.
Yeah.
But usually it's 3 or 4 a week, which is great. And my VODs usually go up a little bit more timely now, too.
I have noticed that, yes. You've been on top of that.
But
now if you can do your playlist.
Well, yeah, technically speaking, that's the other thing, is that you have to, like, put out stuff. Well, that's partially true, but I also think, like, I have to stream things people really want to watch. And Mario Hack Mondays is one of those things. People seem to like these, so I'm perfectly fine with continuing to do them.
At the same time, don't play anything that you're gonna force yourself.
Well, that's the thing, right? I'm not gonna do that, but I do want to think about, like, throughout this year, I want to think about, like...
And don't get me wrong, there's a thing to, like, you know, oh, I'm gonna play this terrible game I know it's gonna be terrible, like...
Oh, yes. Well, the thing I've thought about doing with jumping to conclusions is Gaiden, where I go back to the list in order, and I play them to try and actually beat all of them.
All of them?
All of them.
Oh, God.
And, with the exception of ones that, like, have questionable content, or when I look back at them, I go, okay, that was just like...
Oh, you mean that, what was that, Trolls game on the
There's
NES?
the fact that there was more than one Jumping to Conclusions platformer game that was just, like, extremely racist is really unfortunate, and I'm also not beating those games, I'm sorry.
No, I know.
No, thank you. That is baggage I don't care for. It's only funny because I didn't know it was in the game.
Right.
We're not even gonna bother. But generally, like, yeah, I want to do the Gaiden thing where I go back through and I try to beat them, and that includes, like, every single one of them. But, like, I don't know how that would be for anything, but yeah, like, editing content on other sites, I've thought about it, and, like, I would need the money to pay a video editor because I don't think I could do it on my own. And I know a couple people who would. I've thought about it in the future, so, like, if my income situation improves, I might think about doing that, where
I think I'm just crazy.
What I could do, and what I've thought of doing, instead of going too hard on it, like I know Lythero can do it because that's his job. His job is to, like, stream and do stuff like that. So he can pay his video editors to make many shorts and animations, and he also works on them himself. And so, like, he has, like, the situation. That's just an example. Lythero's super great. Super great dude. Like, really, really awesome guy. Love his stuff that he puts out. Him and his animation team and himself all work on. But for me, my thoughts are, starting small, I would probably just do, like, a highlights of the month, where I ask somebody
I thought about that.
to comb through the VODs and just, like, pick out moments.
LOLTTT moments.
I guess is the best thing. Or just, like, things that are funny that happen. And, like, this is the month of June's highlights or whatever, because I think that would be an easy way to both affordably pay somebody to edit a video once a month, and also, like, not have to worry about having a large amount of income, because I wouldn't have to pay, like, a team of people to do it, like, 5 days a week like it's their job. Because I just don't... I can't foresee myself having the money to do that ever. Right now. Even if I got a better job. But that's, like, down the pipeline, and I still may or may not do it. Because, again, streaming for me is not really, like meant to fill that part of my life. But I kind of want to try, you know? I really kind of want to try. Because,
Give it a good college try, yeah.
Because, like, honestly, it would be cool if it happened, you know? I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be against streaming 4 or 5 days a week as a job.
It'd be cool.
I don't care if it is like the living situation would be like you are making more or less like a little bit above minimum wage, if that, and you live pretty humbly in an apartment. I would be fucking more than happy to do that.
Oh yeah, like if
I don't have to live high off the hog.
Make just like either just a little less or just like the same amount I'm making now, and like when I'm working right now off streaming, I'd be all for it.
I'm not a really exotic, really demanding person, which is why I'm really angry that people still haven't hired me, because I just want to work. I just want to work 40 hours a week. I literally, like, I haven't.
It's crazy nowadays. Like a lot of companies, like, oh, people don't want to work, and
they don't hire anybody.
Dude, you're not hiring people who want to work.
Well, because the training is just too expensive. And it's like, well, you're a fucking idiot. If you want the people that want to work to work, then you have to train them.
You gotta train them.
Because a lot of the people that don't want to work are the people that have gone through your fucking training and think it's crap. But like, I'll do your shit. I don't care.
And it's crazy too. You would think they're like, oh, well, this is a good investment because they're gonna want to work for a company for years. Nah.
No. Yeah, it's a fucking mess. Yeah, I'm not.
It's like the housing market right there. That's actually, I woke up early because we went to go check out a house. But
who the fuck is we?
Me and my parents.
Oh, are y'all moving out together? Or,
No. They're. I don't know first thing about housing stuff, so they're helping me out. I'll be real. And it's just like, oh yeah, 5 years ago this house was 30,000, now it's 120, and I'm like, oh my god, why?
And that's like, that's pretty good post-COVID shit, you know, honestly, which is sad to say. But I do think the market's cooled a little bit with regards to how pricey houses get, because I know
it's not around here.
Oh, no, trust me. A year or two ago, I think it would have been more. I remember it was real bad.
It's not falling around here.
Oh, I mean, eventually that bubble's gonna pop.
We'll see.
My dream is to make cool games with my brother and live off that. Yeah, man, I fuck with that heavy. If I can help at all, let me know, you know? Because, I mean, hey, if it comes down to that and I help you out and I can't find anything and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be homeless, at least I know I got somebody. As sad as that is. Like, I would love to work for somebody on, like, a game or something. Like, fuck, dude.
I need to stop being lazy and work on projects like that.
Also, hi, Keeg, what's up?
Like, I need to sit down and learn, like, oh, let me try learning Blender. Oh, let me try learning Godot or whatever.
Quite late in the evening. Glad to see you around nonetheless. I started late today, though. It was a little bit of a...
Well, it was my fault, so...
It was not your fault. You were here half an hour earlier than I started streaming. That was me. I don't phone in favors a lot, I've noticed, which I should probably do more too in my life. If people want to help me, I should probably take the help.
I think I'm terrible about that too. Like,
yeah, that's really. I never ask either. Is the thing. I feel like I'm the kind of person that doesn't want to. And that's really bad.
I tell everybody that, hey, if anybody ever wants to join me on stream, you're more than welcome to, but I don't ask anybody. I
feel bad because it's just like, man, I should know better, but.
I love all you guys. I really do, and I love hanging out with you guys. But I'm just like, I don't want to like
overstep
take
it,
you
right?
away from anything. Yeah.
But I think every time I publish an article now, when I tweet it, I'm gonna ask for people to be aggressive in how they show it if they like it. You know,
I'm gonna make a YouTube video.
Maybe, but I still have to do the Ring Racers review. And the really annoying thing is that I have to rewrite the whole thing, basically. Because right as I was about 3 or 4 paragraphs in and getting into the flow, they released version 2.2, And it addressed almost every criticism I had, so I have to rewrite the whole fucking thing now because like almost everything I was gonna.
How dare they do their
almost
job?
everything. No, I fucking said because okay, at least three of them on that dev team are my friends. So I DM'd like at least two of them like, "Fuck you! Why'd you release a better version of your game?" My article was I was writing. Fuck you! And they thought it was very funny, but I was just like, man, come on. Now I can't even say this is a problem because it isn't anymore. Like. Man,
he's like over here. Oh man, I can't say my famous booty cheeks joke or something like that.
But I want to write the review in a more compelling way than I was writing it anyways, so it works out. I really want to frame. My goal with that review is to frame the fact that I did struggle with that game. For a sizable amount of time, because that is stuff that isn't really exclusive to the things in the new version, really. Like, the things that I had difficulty adjusting to and getting good at and practicing the game wouldn't really change in version 2.2. Like, my criticisms that were lasting, a lot of them would, but not those things. So I want to frame the fact that it was a game that I initially had a lot of trouble with, but as I learned it, it got better and better, because I feel like it's really rewarding to play and learn and get better at. And I think making a game like that is more difficult than making just a good game on its own. And it's not that every game has to be that, but I think it is a very challenging thing to be that. Like, it is substantially harder to make a video game that really asks you to learn a lot and is demanding without it feeling overbearing to a lot of people.
It's a hard balance.
But I also think, like, if you're a fighting game player, you will fucking love Ring Racers, because it is that kind of feedback. What the fuck? Oh, I turned off the water. Oh, I see. But, like, there's a reason that, like, I could tell that fighting game players made Ring Racers. Like, it just has that feel to it. The way the game is challenging, the way the game is punishing in specific ways. The feedback loop of, like, you get fucking trounced in a race or many races more than once. And then, like, you have that one race where you put everything together and it comes together really beautifully. Feels just like a really strong, like, play in a fighting game where you're fighting somebody and you have a tough first round, and then your second round you figure them out and you, like, kind of surgically dismantle all the stuff that was blocking you off from winning, and you have just a great round. And it's unforgettable. It makes the time feel worth it, because you directly translate that to, like, real success that is only because you cared enough to put that time in, as opposed to, like, the game gave you a bullet bill item and you went past the other guy. It's really, really cool that it's that satisfying. And I think I want to try and emphasize stuff like that. But I also think that's what makes it so much like fighting games, and why I think I can tell that fighting game players made it. It's got the smell of my people on it, you know? Like, I can tell the people that play the games that I play made this. Because that's what makes fighting games, even the ones that I don't like, good. Because this kind of feeling happens in fighting games all the time. Old, new, no matter what it is a fundamental feature of the genre. It is built for a specific kind of person, and it fosters a specific kind of learning like that. So to see it applied to a kart racer, I think is really interesting.
It's like how I feel about I guess a lot of the beat 'em ups that are coming out.
Yes, and I also would say that, like, it does not do it in a way that, like, F-Zero GX does, where I think it is too difficult for most people. Like, I think F-Zero GX is, like, a fantastic game, but I do not think it does a good job at easing you into how it works. And
no, like, you hear people all the time saying how difficult the game is.
And I do not think that it succeeded in its goal of being a really hard game while also retaining people. But it's very good. It's a very fucking good game. It's just, like, from how it is made and how it teaches you, there are people who will never extract real value from that game, where I think Ring Racers does a really good job at trying to prevent that. And that's the distinction I want to make. Like, it is very much trying to make sure that it is not unapproachable, despite the fact that it has a bite to it, despite the fact that it will challenge you and it will push you to be better and play better in ways that other kart racers won't. It does not want to completely abandon the fact that some people are not going to learn that fast or figure it out that quickly. Where F-Zero GX, it's just sink or swim. There's no real getting around it. That is what the game is. And there's a different appeal to that, but I don't think it is the one that will get you an online audience that will continue to play the game in lobbies for time to come. Like, I don't think it has longevity, that approach. What do I gotta do to get you to play DMC5? I should just play the DMC games, to be honest, and that is something that I've thought of doing too, is streaming games in franchises like that I really haven't given a good shake to that I think I would like. DMC is probably the first on my list, because, like...
Yakuza's one for me.
Yakuza 0 I have to play as well.
I've been getting more into the Platinum Trophy runs, too. I've been maybe thinking about turning that into a video series.
Yakuza, though, is really daunting because it's really big, and I worry that I would lack the commitment. But I should probably try it before I say that, instead of being worried about it. Maybe this week, maybe this Thursday I'll do it. Depending on how fast I get the Super Emeralds and Ring Racers. Because Lord knows if the, Yeah, Knuckles Chaotix! Because Lord knows if I'll get the Super Emeralds both on the next stream. But if I do, I don't know what I'm going to do on that stream. I think I can do it, though. I think I can pull it off. I got 5 of 7 in one stream, so... Even though these last 2 stages are really fucking difficult, I think it's possible.
Focusing on the main quest can be a bit more brief, at least.
Well, that's the thing about Yakuza, though. Like, I wouldn't want to just do that. There's so much, like, side... A big part of what makes those games really cool is, like, just the side content. You got it, Draco. If that's what you want...
T, can you make the first DMC game you stream DMC the daunting one?
I mean, I feel like I'm just not even gonna play that one.
Honestly, after streaming it, it's not the worst game in the world.
Well, here's the thing. I don't even care about how good or bad it is. I just think that game is aesthetically ugly. And
I agree with you with that, with the exception of one boss fight. I agree with you.
I mean, that's not really, like... It's still ugly.
No, it is. It's funny ugly.
That game, to me, is repulsive. From, like, an artistic standpoint, I do not like it at all.
Right, yeah.
Not even like, oh, it like, the models are bad, or the blah, blah, or, like, the game's color, or whatever. No, I just think, like, the...
Even when it was released, it still had that.
The look of it, and, like, the feel of it, and the vibes it gives me, make me appalled. I hate it. I just cannot stand, like, the sight of that game.
I'll say, though, I'd rather play that than Sonic Boom any day.
Well, I'm just not playing either, so I'm gonna be happy with myself. But yeah, Drake, I'll gladly have you. I know Isaac J wanted to do all the jumping to conclusions with me, but he's just not available at the times where I'm like able to stream anymore.
Right.
And I'm just like, man,
I mean, it happens. We all have our lives.
I can't cater to it. But DMC, I can very easily get you on if you want. Because that would be good. And MF for Yakuza, I think I need you, because you're the one who bought me 0, so like... But DMC would be really fun to do with you. I would probably start with the first game, though, and I would play the second one.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the first one. I'm not gonna start with 3. There's no way.
That game is too hard. I hear that game is pretty challenging.
I heard the Switch version's really good for DMC.
Yeah, I hear because they added Royal Guard
style
switching and stuff.
Like, yeah.
Like the style switching in DMC3 on Switch apparently makes the game like incredible, better than it already was.
I think that the Switch version is the Switch version the only one that has that?
There might be a mod for the PC one at this point, but I haven't heard anything.
Okay.
But but I think there's probably...
Okay, there is a mod for it? Okay.
Yeah, there's probably a mod for the style switching.
Because I have the PS4 version.
Well, I mean, style switch, Nintendo Switch. Frankly, I
think. Oh my god!
Right.
Do you think that's really why they did it?
Frankly, it writes itself.
Do you think they just like, hey guys, you know, this is the Switch.
It's the Switch, yeah, dude. Oh
my god! Did they really? It's like that's the only reason why they came up with that.
No More Heroes I've thought of. I think the problem I would have with No More Heroes is that everything that comes in between every stage in that game would make me not want to play No More Heroes. And, like, that
No
is
More
just...
Heroes,
that is,
for me.
I think No More Heroes is a game that is more fun to look at and see than to play. That is the impression.
Wanted to try it. Especially 1 and 2. I don't know much about the other 2 that came out, like the Paradise 1 and the 3. I don't know too much, but 1 and 2.
I like the idea, the aesthetic, the inspiration of No More Heroes. I do not think I would enjoy playing them. Which is fine! I mean, like, not everything's gotta be for me. It's like people try to get me to play near games, and I'm like, I'm sorry,
I'm sure to be and all that. I heard that game's a masterpiece. That Near Replica, whatever it's called. Yeah, I'm just not interested. The closest you're gonna see me play Near is Dragon Guard.
Yeah, Yoko Taro games look pretty cool. I'm just... I don't know, I just... Nothing I've seen of it makes me think this would be fun for me to stream. Or play, really. But maybe one day, just for the kick of it.
I just wish No More Heroes had, like, a modern collection. That would be really nice. Because I know the first one got ported to other systems, but it's like a different version from the Wii version.
I mean, yeah, but I think, like, the thing about playing 5 first is that if I played that first and I had no issues with it, and then I go back to the old games, and it's like I have to deal with all this stuff that I wish I didn't have to deal with, it would just feel worse. So I think if I go from DMC1 through the franchise and like, can tangibly, like, see the improvements, I think that would be better for me.
I have done, not a stream, but I've done 100% run of Dragon Guard 1 back in the day when I first played it. Oh my, it is a grind. And I'll just say, Dragon Guard 1, having gone back to it a couple years ago, has aged a little bit this gameplay.
I mean, I think it was... old music?
Very interesting music.
I mean, that's the thing about, like, every Yoko Taro game I've ever heard people talk about. The way they describe, like, actually having to play it, they're like, yeah, it's fucking shit. But man, the music and the story. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, like, Dragon Guard, I can at least say Dragon... Well, I don't know if Yoko Taro even did Dragon Age.
But, like, I gotta be honest. I'm just like, oh yeah, so to get, like, to really experience Nier, you gotta get, like, all 7 endings. And I'm like, oh my god, no, thank you. I'm good. Oh yeah, DMC 1's really cool. I like DMC. That is, to me, what I would do in a visual novel. That is not what I would do in a 3D beat-em-up game.
So what you're saying is we're going to see a Fates Stay Night stream.
No. I didn't say I was going to stream visual novels. You were not... That's not what I said. Also, you are not getting me to stream anything Type Moon related. It is against my code of honor.
Wait, you streamed Melty Blood before, right?
Yeah. I mean, I played it. Can we not... There we go.
That's actually why, out of, like, all the Devil May Cry games, going back to that...
I understand that, Keeg, but, like, that's a lot for me. I do agree that, like, it's definitely not, like, oh, you do the same thing. But, like, it's still a lot to, like... And I'm sure it's to good effect. Don't get me wrong. I just don't know if it would hook me in that way. It has never tended to be something I like to have to do. But, I don't know, maybe one day I will try it. I definitely shouldn't completely ignore the possibility of it because, like, you know.
Okay, so out of curiosity, What's a game that you'll flat out say no? Like, you would never. 1,000 years. Would never.
Probably something like Stellar Blade or Nike,
Okay.
where, like, there is a chance that I would play either of those in public, or not in public, like in private, but I would never associate my public image with that, respectfully. Games like I don't think I would be very fun with visual novels because I don't believe that I would narrate the dialogue with any degree of interesting character. And I don't think anybody wants to, like, watch me silently read a Phoenix Wright game. So that's out of the
Phoenix
question.
Wright, there's things that goes on that lends to it.
But, like, again, it's just an example.
Right, yeah.
It's... Like, I do not have the kind of vibes to stream a game like that. But I would play it on my own time.
It's kind of why my playthrough of Doki Doki was, like, just terrible.
Because it's just like, yeah, because I don't have, like, the inflection to really carry something like that along.
And don't get me wrong, I love Doki Doki Literature Club, but it's just like, just playing it and I'm like, oh my god, why?
There are definitely a number of video games where I would never stream it, but playing it is definitely possible. Very, very, very possible. Like, I would say Nier I would have a higher chance of streaming than, like, a visual novel, for instance.
Right, yeah. The silver case?
I don't think I would stream any modern FPS games. Desert Bus? No. No. Oh my god, no. Are you fucking kidding me? Never in a million years. Look.
Desert Bus was never on Game Center BS. I just now realized that.
What's BS about it? It works. It's just long. It's just what it is. Helldivers 2? No. That's an F... Well, I just... No.
Especially after the shenanigans they just pulled. Well, okay, it wasn't them. It was more Sony, to be fair.
Listen, I don't even... I don't play FPS games, so I just wouldn't stream them. I mean, that's like the obvious one. Like, unless it's like a Doom thing.
I was about to say, you would probably do Doom.
And boomer shooters. That's like the closest you're getting.
You wouldn't do the newer Dooms?
Not really, no. Not interested. FPS is just not a genre I've ever cared for. And I haven't felt any, like, desire to really learn how to play them.
The last major FPS game I was really into was Halo 2. That probably should tell you about where my stance is.
I'm not.
I think they're fine.
I am definitely not reviving Game Center because, as fun as that is, I want to do a reunion stream. That is not.
Oh yeah, a reunion.
Quite the same. That is more like. But like. Oh, you mean reunion? Yeah, word. Micronics, maybe. But we kind of have our games planned out. Like, I think...
call the reunion show Rebirth. Game Center BS Rebirth.
I'm not gonna lie to people. I don't want to do that, as funny as it would be. I don't want to tell people that. I think that would be misleading in a way that isn't funny. Okay. I unironically still get comments about Game Center BS being funny. And, like, I would feel really bad if I even for a second kind of betrayed the trust that people have given me about that show.
Yeah, you're right.
Game Center BS, Draco, is a YouTube channel that spans back years and years and years. We ran that for about 6 or 7 years, and the goal was to play bad video games. We played 1,000 different ones.
Yep.
My friend ran it at first, and then I took up the mantle for the last, I want to say, 200? It was 200. It was a couple hundred. I think it was at least. It was at least the last 100. But
very, very funny stuff. I would say probably some of the early stuff might not be the greatest just because of its age, but
yes. You know, I will fully admit there's probably more than one instance of a thing that I would never say now, considering
I mean, everybody was like, unfortunately.
That was part of my life back before I was even like, I think Game Center BS started before I was even in university. So I was pretty young. I was like not even 20. But a lot of it is still very funny. And a lot of it is not that old. Like, there's stuff that's like BS replays that are really good.
I'll pull up a clip, like, every couple days of just something funny.
And
like, just the other day, I was watching the Donkey Kong thing about me mishearing Kame about the car situation.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's time for Mario to do drugs, everybody.
Oh,
oh my god, what a twist. Oh. Wait, the mushroom is RGB. It's an RGB mushroom.
RGB mushroom.
Oh, he got hit. Oh, yes.
RGB land? Oh god, that would be awful. Well, no, not done. I think we see wrong hacks that does RGB levels pretty well.
Well, actually, Mario did not do drugs this time. He just got sent to a... I don't even know where this is. But yeah, Game Center BS. Yeah, we ran that for a very long time. And we did a gimmick where, for the last 10 games to make 1,000, because I got tired of doing it, and also I got tired of combing through submissions by one guy. Because we took submissions for games. We took submissions on the website, and we would write down the games that we played already and said, hey, you can submit your game for whatever console. And we'd randomly pick the submission.
Yeah.
And, I remember we, eventually got tired of submissions, just kept getting sent in by one guy who just kept sending in, like, games that weren't even funny or even that bad. Because the rule was that the game has to be either really bullshit hard or really bad or both.
And sometimes, you know, there was some disagreements, but overall.
Overall, we generally audited it pretty well. But, at a certain point I got tired of it and I said, well, you know what? Between all these submissions that aren't that bad and, like, the fact that we've been doing this for how long now, I figured it's time to just end it, right? Like, to really give it a closure. And so, the gimmick was that we just did the final 10 games.
Like, notoriously bad games.
Like, I tried to pick games that we had not done yet that were, like, notably bad. And this included, and Sonic 06, which... both parts, I believe, are still on my Twitch, and I think are up on the YouTube. And if they're not... Well, they're not on the YouTube, but they are on my Twitch. Sonic 06 was a fucking mega collab.
Was that the last game? Or was Skulljagger the last game?
No, Sonic 06 was. Skulljagger was the last BS replay, I believe.
Right.
Which was that was the one before I took the mantle, if I'm not mistaken. That was the one where I got honorarily christened in, you know? But Sonic 06 was a fucking mega collab between us and the... We got basically one guest per character.
That was fun.
So like...
Dino was there.
Dino, please, the streamer Dino. He played as Knuckles. I forget who was Tails. I was Sonic.
Was you Shadow?
Yeah, View was Shadow. MF Beautiful, who is in the chat right now, he was Shadow the Hedgehog in that playthrough. I was Sonic. I forget who got Tails. It might have been Dino. I think Dino might have done all of Sonic's allies.
No, who did Kame play?
Kame was Rouge the Bad in
that's
Shadow's story. Kame was Shadow's side characters. And then, I don't remember who was Silver's, it might have been me.
No, I was Silver.
Well, you were Silver, but I don't know who was... Because the gimmick we did was that we had basically one person for every, either side character or regular character. So, like, for Sonic's playthrough, I played as Sonic and Dino played as Tails and Knuckles and all that. And then...
I don't know who played as Blaze, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
Unless I never got that far.
It might have been me. I don't recall. But I
regardless, it was a fun. It was a fun.
It was a fucking yeah.
Yeah.
It was a huge, huge collab. I remember that much. It was very big. Very fun. And then Dino got me on for like his 8-hour Sonic 06 stream that one day. He was like, "Hey man,"
I didn't watch that in full at some point.
I was like, he's like, "Can you make it through the whole thing?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I got you." That was 8 hours of my day. I did it though.
Dude, shoutouts to Dino. Like, I think he like. Does he play? I know he play tested, but I don't know if he goes through the whole game before streaming it and then streams it. Again.
He's
Or not stream it again, but.
Him and I are gonna do something at some point soon. Can't tell you what, but it is gonna happen.
On his stream?
I don't know yet. It might be on mine, to be quite honest.
Okay.
I think it'd be easier to set up on mine. For his sake, too.
For his sanity.
It might be like sometime next week.
Ooh, really soon. Okay.
Yes. Because next week is Paper Mario Week. So, you can hammer out anything before then.
Now, so your door remake coming out pretty soon.
Yeah, coincidentally, it's on the Thursday.
Weird, but...
And, ARPA and I are gonna be doing that every Sunday. But, because I am reviewing the game, I'm going to be playing through it on my own off the stream. Sorry, everybody.
You gotta beat the game, or...?
Probably, off stream. Yeah, there's a good chance, because, I have to write the review.
What? Some people do first impression reviews. I mean, heck
I am not about to write a review for a game where I, like, tell you about whether you should buy it or not if it's, like, a first impression review. That would be, like, horribly misleading and not professional.
Then it's not that IGN guy with Cuphead.
I don't think that was, like, a first... But they called it a first impressions review. This is not what this is.
Well, I'm saying you could do first impression.
I could, but that's not what I told the guy. Like, that's not what I told my...
Okay.
The guy who runs the site is what I would do. I said, "Hey, man, I'm gonna do a review." He's like, "Yeah, man, sure."
And it's just 1 hour of the game.
Yeah, that'd be horrible. And also would be misleading.
I'm sure that has happened quite a bit.
Oh, video game editorial life is probably a giant fucking circus for a lot of things.
Let's not forget the God Hand incident.
I do not want to be part of that circus. I would rather not inconvenience somebody for having the graces to let me write for their website. So, you know... I think a good demonstration of my work ethic is the fact that I take it seriously. You know? And you guys, you think has the best laugh?
T. Not me! I can say that for sure, not me. I don't know, I feel like T and Kame's laugh is like on the same level, especially when they're like laughing together. That's a big pipe. I think my laugh is just straight up off. I like the random ghost here, that's very good. I'm assuming this is just like the Yoshi level.
Yeah. I'm able to finish this hack before the Monday's over.
Before the Monday's over. That's good. I like that.
I'm gonna try and beat it.
I believe in you.
Like, I'm near the end. I mean, if I can just beat it, then that'll be the stream. It'll be one whole hack.
Haven't done that in a little bit.
Yeah, actually, I haven't. It's because a lot of these don't go this smoothly. This is designed pretty well.
Yeah, this one has gone pretty smooth, hasn't it?
It's designed pretty well. It gets more difficult. It's pretty easy overall, though, I would say.
I don't think you've had a sour point with this one.
No, the levels have been pretty well handled. But it also hasn't, like, done anything super ambitious, which is fine. Because you know what? I'll take that over something stumbling over its own feet at the very end. Because that is always the worst feeling.
Okay, I didn't know that was part of the stage or not.
What's the gimmick here?
Well, if you read the lore, goodbye.
What? Uh-oh. Oh, he's dead! What?
What? Hey, brother. Oh, is it Luigi?
Hey, Luigi, get me out of here. Did Luigi kick that shell from inside the... Wish I could play as him.
But this ain't the Luigi story.
That's so true, friend.
It's a Super Mario adventure. 2.
What? What?
Uh-oh. Secret World?
No. No, just a pipe back to World 4 if you want it.
Oh, okay. I guess 8
Front
divided
door.
by 2 is 4.
Ooh. This is... Sounds like Mario Tennis music.
Camelot, yeah. Right, the people who did Golden Sun, did they do the Mario Tennis game, or am I thinking of something
Yes, they
else?
did. Camelot, yeah. They also did like all the Mario sports games, and still do, I think, to a degree.
Did they?
Yeah.
Are they? I didn't know they were still around.
Camelot, yeah. Good showing. I don't really know what else they have done recently, but...
I'm looking it up.
They've been vibing. God bless them.
Oh yeah, they did Mario Golf Super Rush. Okay. That was their last game.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to beat this and call it a stream, I think. For the night. Tomorrow's stream will probably be more ring racers! Yay! I'm gonna try to get those last emeralds as Cliff. And see what happens when you get all the emeralds and get the credits to roll. I'm sure that it will finally stop telling me to get them. And I'll get to see...
it becomes Super Cliff.
Oh my god, if only. I would love to see that.
Or, excuse me, I'm sorry, Hyper Cliff.
Oh yeah, I mean... She would just be young Cliff.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought about like asking, hey, wouldn't that be funny to do for the sprites when he goes like, when he gets like the star? But I was like, that'd be too much work. It'd be custom Lua, and it's like, you know what? We don't need that. That's not wholly necessary, I would say. Oh, Bagamo! You couldn't hear that one though. That's the one downside to the
I couldn't hear it.
not screen sharing, is that you're not going to get the audio from my stream alerts.
I think I'll manage. I like how this makes me feel like it's a GBA palette.
It's really saturated, yeah. But I think it's just to make it look underwater.
Yeah. Ooh, GBA.
But yeah,
Surprisingly.
What's up?
What happened?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something.
I don't think so. No, what were you saying?
Is there one for like each world or something? Oh, look, it's your favorite thing from Mario World.
I'm not. I will never stop gushing about this. Like, young little me playing this, I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. Especially coming off of Mario 3. I will say this: Mario 3 does not have fence. I was so blown. Like, it's the small things when you're younger with these video games, okay? Where you're just blown away by things.
I liked that recent weird Twitter arc where apparently people were talking about Mario Wonder again. We're trying to say it wasn't good or something.
Wait, really? I haven't seen that.
Well, neither did I. I just heard people were doing it. I was like, oh really? They're talking about Mario Wonder again? Oh,
I have seen though. People saying Shadow the Hedgehog's not a bad game. I've been seeing that going around.
Oh yeah. You're so right.
I guess after people were saying Sonic 06 wasn't bad, now they gotta go to Shadow the Hedgehog.
No, there's just... I'm sorry, listen, I know Shadow Generations and the Sonic movie with Shadow is coming out. You don't gotta lie. You don't have to lie, don't worry. I do not hold that against Shadow the Hedgehog, the character, that his video game is awful.
Apparently, this is big rumor, apparently, so take it with a grain of salt. Shadow the Hedgehog's getting a remaster.
Oh.
I'm talking about big, apparently, rumor, but I don't believe it.
How far back do they take me? Oh, I'm not doing that all again. I'm sorry, not all in one go.
AVGM would say that.
As the resident Shadow fan here, that game is fucking ass.
I love when you guys did the replay of that, and you was there for the multiplayer, and like just you could hear it in his voice how defeated he was as the multiplayer win.
Oh, that was bad, dude. It wasn't good.
How can we? Guys, we need like characters for the multiplayer, just different color shadows.
Oh my god. Oh shit. You don't see this often, which is really funny. I don't know why. Oh god, is Bowser coming out of that? I'm scared. Yep, okay. You never know with these ROM hacks what's gonna happen when the clown car is on the screen. You don't know who's coming out. Ah, yeah. Let's go, baby. The Mario World final boss.
Yep. What a classic. You know what they should do? And they probably can't do this. They should do like the FF4 randomizer where like the Bowser sprite can be a different character. Shadow with a gun is a funny... No, Shadow with a gun is still funny.
Fine, the computer room!
I'm the computer room.
No, Shadow the Hedgehog has really funny memes. That I cannot take away from. Why does he have that in there, by the way? I feel like I've asked this question every time. The Bowser with the whole ass bowling ball and his
Is it a bowling ball or a cannonball?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a bowling ball. It's got like
Bowser have a giant bowling ball. Wow.
Part of me is like, there's just no way they haven't asked this question on an interview at some point. Like, hey, Miyamoto, what were you cooking with that?
I mean, oh man, somebody asked like, who's Bowser Jr.'s mother, and Miyamoto's like, oh, it's me. Yeah,
but I mean, then that means that he would give an answer. It might not be
has
real.
Anybody asked it? That's the thing.
They were gonna let the 4Kids cast handle some of what is probably the darkest material of the Sonic series. Yeah, man. Oh, man. Speaking of unfortunate things with Sonic voice actors.
Oh, no. Do you want to go there?
I
know exactly what you're talking about, too.
Yeah, you know, I was playing kart the other day, and I was like, man, they really dodged a bullet there going with the Dreamcast voice actors. Because it's like, yeah, you know, they don't have to worry about the Eggman voice in their game. You know, don't worry about me.
You hate to see it.
You really do. You know, you don't hate to see though? Me beating a ROM hack on Mario Hack Mondays. Oh yeah, the Mike Pollock stuff definitely not on my bingo card, but
didn't actually like a lot of weird stuff happen that same day.
I think so. There was like a huge like checklist I remember.
Yeah, there
seeing.
was like I think there was a lot of stuff that would happen that day.
That day was quite eventful. It was just I did not expect that. Listen, I think that every voice actor for Eggman did a great job. I just think it's really unfortunate that does not really cancel out the fact that Mike Pollock did all that. I can't. Dean Bristow cooked though. He did a really good job. As did Long John Baldry.
Jim Carrey to do it.
So I'm really curious who they're going to get next. Although I remember the jokes about the Snap Cube guy, Alfred, getting hired. That would be really...
Do you think...
No, but it would be funny. But, like, at the same time... It would be too much. That's too much, but it would be fucking hilarious.
I'd be down for it. I would be.
I would too, but I'm really curious. I think they had a different person for Sonic Prime. So...
Oh, did they?
Yeah, maybe they'll get him. It is just such a shame, though. I'm not gonna be one of the people that's like, oh yeah, it was never good, because that'd be me lying, but it's like, man, I'm sad. I'm sad because it was good. But, you know, I guess that just fucking completes the pantheon of cursed 4Kids voice acting with regards to Sonic, you know? Because Mike Pollock was more or less the only remaining 4Kids voice actor. And I personally do not think that after all of this he will be reprising his role. Just call it a hunch. I don't know what would ever give me that thought, but... Oh. Don't be sorry, ROM Hacker. I appreciate that instead of a really bad RPG boss. You have no idea how thankful I am that it was just Bowser. Anywho, I'm gonna see what this is. Oh, what? Oh, it's just a... Whoa! Whoa! Oh, it activated the special palette. Very cool. Anyways, that'll be it for me tonight.
Very fun.
Let's go say hi to PJ. He's playing Magical Kids Doro Pie. I don't know what the fuck that is, but that sounds pretty cool. I am gonna relax the rest of the evening. Thank you all for coming out. Have a great evening, everybody. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.